Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cody from Mr. 4am Builds, and in this video, or actually the next series of videos, we are going to build an outfeed table with built-in dust collection, which I am very excited about because it's about to be cold weather season. Actually, it already is, and I ain't fixing to go outside and work on nothing. So the features this needs to have: it needs to be small enough to fit in the basement, it needs to have built-in dust collection, and aesthetically, it needs to look cool because I like nice looking furniture in my shop. So subscribe so you get notified every time there's a new video. Follow along with the series. Let's get into it. I do want the base to be pretty beefy. I was gonna use some 4x4s, but the ones I saw at the store were just complete garbage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut down some 2x4s oversized, and I'm gonna glue them together. And at the end, I can cut those down, and I have some leveling feet that are gonna screw in from the bottom, and that'll get my height perfect. And I'm also just gonna run them through the table saw when they're in a 4x4, and that's gonna clean up the sides good enough for a workbench. I went through and I took some of the faces and I matched them up so that should give me my best results. And I'm also gonna make one extra leg just in case I need to try something. Doesn't hurt to have a spare. Now I'm just gonna go through, I'm gonna lay out my paper and I'm gonna glue everything up in one shot. I can use it all with one set of clamps, but you just gotta remember not to put glue in between every single one of them because we ain't making a tabletop.
Hours later.
What I'm doing now is I'm just using this little scraper and a chisel to clean up any of the excess glue off the sides. I've already done it on the other pieces. And what this is gonna do is it's just gonna help us knock down any high spots so that when we do run this side along the table saw fence, it's gonna give us the straightest cut as possible. After running all those pieces through the table saw, I'm pretty happy with the results. So I'm gonna go through now and I'm just gonna putty any spots that have any imperfections, and then tomorrow I'll sand it down and I'll pick out the 4 best. Now that these pieces have had all night to set up, I threw a piece of 100 grit on my sander and I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna knock down all the high spots. This is gonna be paint grade, so I'm not too worried about if it's absolutely perfect or not. And if I need to, I can always go back with 150 grit. But I think with the 100 and the paint, I think we're gonna be pretty good. Having a stop block like that on your miter saw is key because now I know that all 4 of these legs are going to be absolutely identical. Now that we have all the legs cut and they're at the right height, that's our pillar for where we're going to start on the stretchers. So I do have a rough sketch and I think I know exactly how big everything's going to be, but I guess until you get it in the flesh, you really don't know. That's why we're basement carpenters. So I'm going to start with these, start to cut some stretchers, and then put it together. Those stretchers are going to be connected by pocket holes. Yep, nothing fancy, just pocket holes. Here I'm going to mark out the holes to drill for the leveling feet. Find the center by making an X, drawing a line corner to corner. And whenever drilling holes, if possible, I like to use a center punch to start it, just so that the bit doesn't walk around. I measured the max depth of the feet, added about 1/8 inch, and drilled the holes using my portable drill press. Here I'm just marking out the pocket holes that we're going to use to secure the bottom and the top. Now that I got the table completely mocked up, I like the way that it's all fitting together and I see it's nice and square. So I am gonna start to screw part of it together, but I can only do the 2 sides at one time because if I were to put everything together, it wouldn't be able to fit through the door. But at least if I do this, I can do the tops, the bottoms, I can mock it all up, and then I know exactly how big to cut my top and all my side and bottom panels. With those pieces all secure now, I know that I can take off these side clamps. I'll move them up. I'll put on all those pieces on the top. Then I can have everything good. I can put the bottoms on. And then I'm also going to put in some filler pieces in here so that I have a nice tight seal when the side panels go on. Don't do that. A little bit of painter's tape. Yeah, so that little filler piece, it helps a lot. With those filler pieces all nailed in, now we're gonna put the feet on. I'll show you how we do it. So these feet are pretty simple. That's all we're gonna do is we're gonna put it into our pre-drilled hole. I'm just gonna take the screws that they got with it. And just take the end piece, screw it all the way in. And as you can see on there, it does have a little nut and they send you a little wrench with that. So I'm just gonna leave it all the way in, and then as we need to, once we get it down on the ground, you can slide the little wrench in there and you can adjust the height from there. With the framing complete, I think we call episode 1 of this project a wrap. In a future episode, we're gonna go over the floor, the sides, what we're gonna use for the top, and how we're gonna finish it, which I'm pretty excited about. Hope you guys are finding a little inspiration along this project. You're learning something. or at least you're entertained. In the meantime, get out there, buy cool tools, build cool stuff, tell your friends about it. See ya. Now that these pieces now
I don't have my mic on, jackass.
with this dust feed table, is that what we're gonna call it, a dust feed table?